welcome to How to Deal When the Shit Gets Real podcast. I'm Rietta.
And I'm Connie, and we are two mindful cousins this week.
And not just this week, every week.
Well, we try. And now we're not talking about mindfulness as in doing meditation.
No,
it's
not
more
this
of being mindful of your technology and your social media.
Although it does kind of all go together, we're just getting more in depth about it.
Yes, because we have talked about mindfulness before.
Yes, because it does
and
play
yoga.
a factor. Yeah, and yoga, because it does play a factor in a lot of things, and a lot of people forget about it.
Yeah, and I basically ended up thinking about this because I was at a party, and my phone was in my purse the first half of the party. I didn't even think about my phone until my cousin asked me, like, oh, well, what does your dog look like? And then, of course, I have to get out cute photos of Flynn because I don't have a baby. So, I mean, he's like the closest thing I got. I realized after the party that when I took out my phone is when I became like, oh, let me check to see if somebody texted me. And then realistically, no one important is texting me. The only person, no, not even you. You did not text me at all during the party, so you can't even claim that.
I usually do.
Not at that party, no.
Bummer.
Not at that specific time. We were not texting.
Bummer.
Either way, I also normally say that the only person that's important was at the party with me, which is Tom. So I got home and I was like, man, I really need to be more mindful of my phone. And then I texted Rietta basically saying, hey, I got a topic. So this is how that all came about. You're welcome for that long drawn out story.
It wasn't that long. It was only a couple minutes. I noticed too that especially with Kyle being gone, that I tend to look at my phone more. I think just because it makes me feel more connected because he's not here. And
I was going to say that kind of makes sense.
And I have this FOMO of missing his phone call because if I miss it,
oh, hell yeah,
I can't necessarily call him back or I can't necessarily get in touch with him again, and that used to happen previously. So, but it does result in me obsessively picking it up and looking at it and being like, oh, do I have a text? Oh, did somebody Instagram me? Oh, what's going on Facebook? Oh, well, maybe I should check this. Or, oh, I'm going to look this up. And then before I know it, I've been staring at it for hours, and that's not okay.
Exactly. I mean, you do have kind of like a valid excuse. You know what I mean? I can understand being anxious because, well, fuck, like, did I miss his call? Hell yeah, I understand it, but I definitely also understand saying, oh, well, and then it dragged on for 2 hours, and that's too much.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I'm using the valid excuse to validate me being on it way too much. It needs to.
So, how are you going to stop it?
I'm just going to stop it.
You're just going to stop automatically.
I'm just going to put my phone down and focus on Gilmore Girls instead of my phone.
Oh, hell yeah. So you're just going to stop. You don't have any helpful tips or tricks or anything?
I feel, I used to smoke cigarettes. Not really.
I had no idea.
Really? Okay. Well, there you go. Surprise.
I maybe might have known when we were kids, but probably forgot.
Yeah.
I probably saw you when I was little and then just was like, yeah, whatever.
But I have a point to this. I didn't just blurt that out for no reason. So I used to smoke cigarettes, and for the longest time, I felt like, oh, I need to do something to quit. And maybe I need to do this and that. And honestly, cold turkey was just the best fucking way. Like, just throw the shit in the trash and be done with it. So I kind of feel the same way about social media, because I feel like if you give yourself room to potentially slip up, you're gonna slip up. So if I just go, okay, from, I don't know, we'll say like Kyle's home, from when Kyle gets home for the rest of the evening until tomorrow, I'm not gonna touch my phone, then I'm not gonna touch my phone,
So really it's more like you're gonna give yourself boundaries, because we all know you do need your phone nowadays. Like you need it to call an Uber, to call for help, I mean, it's not just for fun. You know, your bills are on there. Like there's a lot of like important information on your phone.
Yes.
I do get the setting boundaries. I actually used to do that on the train because I found myself, and it's also one of the reasons why I got rid of Facebook, was because I found myself just scrolling mindlessly through, not even really like paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
So your phone now has timers on it for social media, music, whatever. So I put on a social media timer for I think only 30 minutes a day. And I also then stopped because I started working from home. And I feel like I really should go back to that.
Yeah, see, that's a good way to set boundaries, or even going back to my reference, just deleting Facebook and Instagram, the apps on your phone. So the only way you can access them is if you go and sit down in front of your computer. And I know this is not ideal for everybody, obviously, but to me, that's the best option, because if it's not there, you're not going to mess with it. Just like when you talked about your diet, when you guys decided to diet, you got rid of it. It wasn't in your house. The temptation wasn't there. I feel like it's the same thing. If it is just not on your phone, you can't do it.
And then you can go into the Safari app and just put it in Facebook, because I did that. I literally got rid of the app and then ended up just going to the Safari app, typing in Facebook and popping it up that way.
Oh, see, I won't do
that. For a while.
Too much work.
Well, and I also did that. See, I also did that because I didn't want the extra app on my phone because it was taking up too much space.
Mm-hmm.
And I just didn't care enough about it. And then I deleted it altogether. So.
Yeah, I feel like, at least for me, it helps if I just eliminate it. Just like when you're trying not to eat Oreos. If you don't want to eat Oreos, then you don't buy them at the store. So if it's not on your phone, more than likely
you're not going to.
Yeah, you're not going to use it. Yeah, you might be like you and be like, oh, well, I could pull it up on Safari. But it is still more work, which would kind of deter you from doing it. But
yeah. I mean, and it also made me dislike Facebook more.
Yeah.
It was like my path to actually deleting my social media account on Facebook. You know what I mean? Like it was just kind of a little winded road.
Yeah, it was just a longer road. Yeah. I feel like I have a harder time myself ignoring text messages. Yeah, I feel like when I get a text message from somebody, I have to answer right when I see it. There can't be a delay.
Yeah.
You really shouldn't feel that way. That's kind of the perk of text messaging, is you don't have to answer right away. You know, it's not like a phone call where you have to answer it or you miss it. Like a text message, you can read at any point. And I've just gotten so used to, I guess, being available to people that now I feel like I have to be available, which is ridiculous. So that's something that that is something I need to set boundaries on and be like, okay, just because my mom sent me a text right now doesn't mean I have to answer right now. I can, if I'm cooking, I can wait until I'm done.
Yeah. And you can also always text, because a lot of times, like, I don't really answer my phone when working my part-time job because it's just too fast-paced to be able to. So I normally just wait until the end, and then I'll be like, oh, sorry, it was working. That's nice, or whatever my reply is. And let's face it, most of the time, text messages aren't that critical. I think, in my opinion, phone calls are. That's what gets me like, oh shit, what happened? What's going on?
Yeah, I usually try to always answer my phone, especially if it's a family member like my mom or my dad or Kyle or somebody, especially if it's late at night or whatever, when you know something might be happening. But yeah, usually people aren't going to send you a text if they're in the hospital.
It's super important. Yeah, exactly. And if so, you shouldn't do that. I found out the hard way that you shouldn't do that.
Yeah, exactly. And another place that I try to set boundaries, which Connie actually brought up before we even got on here, as you guys know, I'm a very avid hiker, outdoors person. And I didn't even necessarily have to set boundaries here because I feel like it was kind of natural for me. But I usually only bust out my phone. I usually will put on some music and it's connected to a little speaker. And then I just put it in my bag. And then if I see a moment when I want to take a picture, I take a picture and then I put it right back. And I don't post anything on Instagram or Facebook or even necessarily look at the pictures until I get back home. It's kind of just, okay, take a picture.
Yeah, because you're trying to enjoy the moment. That's what Tom will say to me. He'll be like, oh, you need to look at the picture right away. I'm like, well, yeah. Just because I'm very self-conscious. So I'm like, I want to see if I need to take a different photo. Yes. But I still don't post it. Like, I look to see if I look okay. If I look okay, fine, great, done. But yeah, no, I need to look because I could look really bad.
Yes. Well, I doubt you would look bad, but for me, especially when I'm hiking, if I'm looking at my phone, first of all, I could trip and fall and hurt myself, which is just
that's
the
not good.
stupid
Yeah, for
part.
sure.
Or you could be one of those people that is so busy looking at their phone, they walk into the fountain at the mall. I mean, come on now. So that's the first thing.
True.
I could trip and fall and hurt myself, or I can just miss everything around me. Like, the birds are chirping. I'm not paying attention to the birds are chirping. I'm not paying attention to this whirling giant tree that's in front of me. I'm not.
And that would really hurt if you ran into a giant tree.
Oh yeah, that would hurt. And last hike I went on, there was people flying gliders, which are the planes that don't have the engines in them, which are super cool.
Oh, those are fun.
And if I was looking at my phone, I never would have noticed it. Yeah, I wouldn't have noticed it. Now, granted, I did take my phone out and take a cool picture, but then I put it back away and just stood there for a while and watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So, I mean, I feel like our generation isn't as bad. Maybe I guess Connie and I are kind of different generations. My generation isn't too bad. Your generation is like starting to, but even the generation after us, they're so involved in their phone. What memories are they gonna have? This is gonna be the only memory, their screen, looking through the screen to see a memory, not actually experiencing the memory.
Yeah. It's like taking, do you remember this way back in the day? It's like taking a video of a concert, and instead of focusing on the concert, the live music in front of you, you're instead making a video. And let's face it, nobody wants to see that goddamn video. Like, it's a shitty version of the live version that you are watching. You are better off. It serves you better as a person to actually watch what's going on.
Yeah, the sound will never, ever be the same. And it's the same thing.
And neither will the picture.
No,
honestly.
The picture will never be the same. And it's the same thing with the frickin' 4th of July fireworks. You cannot capture 4th of July fireworks. They do not look good in video because it's constant, like, going from dark to light. Your phone is just doing this recentering thing, trying to refocus, and all it looks like is a big blurry mess. Though. You can get good pictures, but the people that take the videos, they fucking suck.
Oh yeah,
don't bother. Watch the fireworks.
I only took a picture because it was really cool, because you could see two of the exact same fireworks going on, and then there was also, we were in front of a pond, so you saw it not only in the sky but also reflected onto the pond, and I thought that was cool because
pictures are one thing, because pictures take 1 second. You hold it up, wait for it to focus, click, you're done. But a video of fireworks, because it goes dark and then light and dark and light, all your phone is doing is constantly readjusting.
And it looks bad.
And it just looks like a blurry mess. You can't even freaking tell what it is. And I can't even tell you how many freaking videos were on my Facebook feed of shitty fireworks.
You're like, yay, another video.
And nobody cares. We all saw fireworks. It's the 4th of July. Everybody tends to do the same thing. So just watch the damn show.
Yeah, and also that's more enjoyable because, they're timing it along with music and what have you. And
now that I have a kid, it's fun to watch him do it. And then he comes to me and goes, oh, mommy, look at that one. Oh, that one's blue. Oh, that one's red. And I'm like, yeah. And if I'm looking at my phone, first of all, he notices. He's going to be like, Mom, no, you're not actually looking. First of all, that's the first fail. And yeah, it's not as fun. It's fun to do it with him and be like, oh yeah, look at that one.
Also, so say you were on your phone and you weren't necessarily watching him, then you're missing out on some of his moments as a growing child.
Yes.
And that's what this is all about. It's think about how many moments you are missing because you're focused on your phone and not what's going on, and kind of how to combat that. And we've already talked about the ways that you kind of combat that and just try to walk away, basically.
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I actually made a post about this in my hiking group, I think last week, talking about instead of necessarily even taking pictures, I called them mental snaps. So you're taking mental pictures that you're actually going to remember versus actual pictures on your phone.
Oh yeah, because and if you think about it, especially hiking wise, you'll remember the whole experience of the hike, And the photo is a reminder of it, but it doesn't really, it's not the whole picture, honestly. It's a picture, but it's not representative of your whole experience.
No, that's a perfect way to say it. Like you said, it is a reminder, not the actual memory. But you won't have the memory if you're so focused on just making the reminder. And honestly, a lot of times pictures don't even do what you're seeing with your own eyes justice. Even if it's hiking or not, if it's hiking, if it's a wedding, if it's your niece or nephew being born, the pictures are never going to be as good as how you actually feel. And you can only feel that if you are actually paying attention.
I feel that way towards my wedding photos. I remember loving it so much, having so much fun and stuff like that. And I like my photos, don't get me wrong. But to me now, looking back, I think maybe this might be because of how much weight we've lost as well and how we've grown as a couple. We're like, oh man, like that really, like, it doesn't feel like a true representation of our wedding anymore because we feel we look different. I also remember having like so much fun and talking with everybody. That's what we actually remember the most from our wedding is going around each table and talking to everybody and seeing how everybody was, how they liked the food, etc. That's what to us is now more memorable than even the photos. And the photos were good photos, people. Like, it's not like they were really shitty photos. I get compliments on my photos all the time.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
But now in my mind, the memory has changed and me and Tom have all lost weight. So we're like, oh my God, I don't even look like that anymore.
Yeah, but that's another fun part of the memory. When you look back, you're like, wow, look how far we've come in 5 years. It's another cool part of the memory. That's like, true. I wanted to get pictures when we first moved here to Hawaii. Well, not even necessarily right away, but within 6 months. And it wasn't just because I wanted to remember this island because we were having such an incredible experience. So I wanted the pictures as a reminder of how much we loved Hawaii, not as a way to remember Hawaii. It was just to be like, oh, look, I
mean, come on. You're never going to get a better background for family photos. No. You're never going to have this chance again to take some really nice family photos. And not a lot of people will have the memories that you have of Hawaii that this family photo shoot represents. But also, I mean, the photos are fucking cool.
Yeah.
Let's just be real. The photos are cool, whether they're a representation of your time there or not. They're still fucking awesome.
Oh, yeah. I get compliments on our photos constantly, too. And I love having them, but the purpose of them wasn't to create the memory. It was to be a reminder of, in 2000.
Look at how cute we are. Whatever, we were in Hawaii, and this is all the stuff that we did in Hawaii.
Yeah, and Jackson got his hair cut shortly after, so it's another reminder, like, oh, look how long his hair was, and he cut his hair like a week after that. And, it just has fun little reminders of the actual memories that you have.
Yes. I mean, and that's what photos are supposed to be, really. Until there was the invention of the cell phone, and now photos can be really whatever you want them to be because you always have them most of the time. They're always in your phone.
Yes.
Not all the time, but.
And obviously people we're not telling you not to take pictures, of course. You absolutely should take pictures. You absolutely should keep those reminders. But that shouldn't be the only thing you do.
Yeah, you should also, this is really just a friendly reminder to also put down the phone and put down the camera if you're old school and use camera and actually enjoy the moments.
Yes, and have dedicated days where you completely unplug. You don't get on your computer, you don't get on your phone, you don't get on anything, and you just live your best damn life.
Hell yeah. Also, it is crazy to see so many people out and about socializing, and they're not even really socializing because you're on your phone the whole goddamn time. And what's even funnier about this is it happened to us when we were in Vegas. We were with our grandmother, and our grandma, who is not technologically advanced, she has a flip phone. And she pointed out to me, she's like, look at that couple over there. Isn't that a shame? They're two people in and absorbed in their cell phones. They're not enjoying the restaurant. They're not enjoying Caesar's Palace. They're not enjoying their time together. All they're doing is looking at your phone.
Yep.
And that's what we want to get across. Like, hey, remember to put down the phone and like smile at your significant other and enjoy your surroundings. You're at a restaurant. You shouldn't just be on your phone the whole time.
Right. And the same thing happens. Obviously, we're not seeing it right now because there are no fans at any sporting events. But if you notice when the camera pans around at sporting events, 9 times out of 10 when they land on somebody, what are they doing? They're
on their phone.
They're looking at their cell phone. So there's this game that they paid to go and watch that they're not even watching because they're too busy texting people telling them that they're at this game.
Yeah.
And there's a hot chick sitting next to them or whatever the hell they're texting.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't even notice the camera lands on them because they're on their phone. Like, I don't know about y'all, but when I go to a baseball game, I get myself a beer and I get a hot dog.
Oh, yeah.
Baseball game.
Well, I mean, baseball is really fucking slow, but I still like baseball, but I like going and like chit-chatting with like the people that I go with. Like, oh, that guy has a nice ass. I love it.
Well, that's being a part of it, though. You're maybe
That's true.
But you're paying attention. And,
yes.
Yeah, baseball absolutely can be a little slow. So, I mean, that might warrant a little bit of phone time.
But hockey, for sure, you're definitely on.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say.
when you're in this stadium.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I've been to many hockey games. My husband and I are huge Blackhawks fans. We went to Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals in 2013 for our anniversary. And you better fucking believe that our phones were out for like, hey, take a picture of us here, like a picture of us together. And maybe a couple snapshots of like the players. And that was it.
Oh,
and then they were down.
Same here. We did the same exact thing, and that's exactly how it went. It was like we went during their like small little like halftime or whatever, took a photo at the glass because we were fucking 4 rows away, which was fucking phenomenal. Anyway, and then like a few pictures of like the players, and like that was it, and you're done. And also like this is also coming from a person who has been around somebody photographer, like taking photos of them their whole life. And let me tell you, no. I guess they really enjoy their camera and it's different than a phone. But at the same time, are you enjoying it as much taking a photo of the animal than actually watching the majestic animal? And same with like your family. Are you really enjoying your family or are you just enjoying taking photos?
Yeah.
Is a good question.
Little column A, little column B, I would think. It would probably be somewhere in between, but
one would hope.
Well, yeah, one would hope, yeah.
I mean, you never know.
You never know, yeah.
But I mean, I also do get that because I do like taking photos. I've done a couple of photo shoots before, so I probably is more of a mixture of both. But I also have to say, having to pose for a lot of photos in my lifetime, I'm like, it's not the funnest thing to like be posed and stuff. And sometimes I feel like I've now realized that all of the photography that has gone on in my life, I make shitty smiles now because I'm just so tired of it. Because it's been happening to me since day one. I've been posed for photos. So now I'm like, okay, I'm 27. Do we really have to take more photos? Thanks.
Yeah, are we done now? Yeah. Usually when the guys come home from deployment, a lot of people hire what they call a homecoming photographer to take, the first hug and the first kiss picture. And the first like 2 times, I just brought a friend along and I was like, hey, can you just, snap a couple pictures? Oh yeah, of course, no problem, And just recently I decided to finally hire one because what's nice about it? I don't have to worry about it. They will take care of capturing the reminder for me and I can actually make the memory. And then I can look later at the pictures that somebody else took for me and I can be like, oh, fabulous. Somebody was there in the background getting it for me while I just got to experience it and my phone doesn't even have to be in my hand.
Well, and also the thing is that I don't know about you, but I have friends that are not great at taking photos. So it's like,
Yeah.
meh.
I
Like
didn't really care how great they were. Like, as long as they got the moment, I didn't care if the picture was incredible. It was basically just us hugging. So, I mean, it really can't be that hard to get a picture of that. I mean, if it was something more
Yes, it can.
important, then absolutely I would hire a professional. I'm not going to just ask my friends to take wedding pictures. But yeah.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, like, you maybe for this one time you want a nicer photo versus all the other ones have been just taken by a friend and it's just a hug and it doesn't look great, whereas this photographer will make it even like look more romantic, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it will look nicer. And then she also threw in like another session after the fact, which was really nice.
That's awesome.
We'll get 2 sessions out of it, which is great. So then I'll have lots of Hawaii photos before we finally leave next year.
And I have to say, like, that's the same thing is my regret of not hiring a professional engagement photographer. I just had my friend and my uncle do it. And yes, my uncle did wedding photos for a while, but like, I mean, we did them at like, there's like some regret there because it's just, it wasn't at like a great location. I wasn't wearing some fabulous like dress. I didn't think it through enough, in my opinion. They were fine. They looked great. I got probably only like 5 photos that I like absolutely love. You know, there aren't as many photos I'm like, oh my God, I absolutely love these, you know? So that's why I'm like, it was fine. Like I should have probably spent the money. I didn't have enough money for it. But I am definitely going all in for maternity photos though.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, I didn't have maternity photos. I didn't have engagement photos. Didn't have any of it.
Why didn't you do maternity photos?
Didn't see a need for it. I didn't really feel a need for it. The only thing that I think I did have was a birth photographer. I would have rather had the labor, like birthing pictures than maternity pictures.
Really? I'm like, nope. Nobody take a photo of me while giving birth ever. Not ever. And I'm not even pregnant. And I'm like,
And I'm not like asking for like straight shots of my nether.
Obviously.
But like, I think the moment of like him coming out would have been really incredible.
No. And you know what? Maybe it's because of the fact that I saw mine and I was just like horrified.
I mean,
saw my own one that my dad took and I was just like, nope.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have much. I have one like me first holding him, which is great, but I don't really have much else.
And they have those like little infant photography sessions, which
they did do that.
They're absolutely, those are absolutely adorable.
Yeah, I did do that. The hospital provides those usually, which is great for how much you pay to be in the hospital. Yeah.
Huh.
So that is there. They do come around and take pictures, which is really nice. I don't know. I just never wanted maternity photos. Like probably because my pregnancy was horrible. I was sick the entire time. Not really something I wanted to remember. It was horrible. And I could take pictures of myself pregnant and remember my belly. But I mean, other than that, I don't really give a shit.
Nice. I think the only reason why I'm like super into it is I'm in like I like photos in general, 1, and 2, I'm just like, I only plan on doing this once, maybe twice. I'm going to take a couple photos and when it's okay to be fat.
I mean, I love photos. I have tons and tons of photos of a lot of other things. I don't know. It just never really struck me. And Kyle was deployed. So it would have been.
That probably didn't help.
It would have been me by myself. Like.
Yeah. So that's like a no.
Yeah. So it was just, maybe if he was here, it might have been different and we could have done it together. But just by myself.
I think that's really the only time that I would want to do it is together with, like, I wouldn't want it to be myself and I. Just be like, hey.
Plus, like I said, I was absolutely miserable. So, no, thank you. That's why
I think it's very interesting that this podcast has gone from how do you stay out of your phone to photos, memories. We love them.
Well, it all goes together. I mean, really,
it does.
We're talking about mental pictures and.
I know. I'm just teasing.
It's all fun though.
It's all fun and games until somebody gets hurt.
Oh,
And then it'll just be a hilarious moment, hopefully captured on a phone.
there definitely have been moments, like funny moments, that I wish I would have gotten on video or gotten a picture of. But
then you would have missed it in real life.
yep,
Isn't that what everybody says?
That's what I was just going to say. I would rather have the memory of actually seeing it than just happening to get it on camera.
Also, it then creates like a hilarious story to tell other people because it's like, sorry, I don't have a photo, but this is freaking hilarious. And also, if you think about it, you post all your stuff online, right? Like we both do.
Right.
And when you see a person, they'll be like, yeah, I know, I saw. And so if you don't have a photo, you're like, oh yeah, this is really funny. This is what happened. Because they've never seen that before, and you didn't really write about it on Facebook or Instagram because there's no photo. It's like legends. It's like how legends are born.
Yeah, pretty much. So, Connie, what are your tips for enjoying life?
I think we've already really covered it, but I basically just try to like put my phone away, especially when I'm with other people. Like, it's fine if I'm home alone and I'm just on my phone reading whatever. But like if I'm trying to enjoy a movie with Tom or go out to eat with grandma, I'm putting away the phone. I'm putting it down. We're having margaritas or whatever. I'm enjoying being with the other person, and I normally just like to keep my phone in my purse and just kind of forget about it. Like you said, quit cold turkey. Don't even be tempted to look. Pretend like you're in church. You're not supposed to have your phone in church, right?
Or at a wedding.
Or at a wedding, or anywhere, really. Oh, not really anywhere, but
funeral.
Pretend that you're driving. That's another thing. Is like, put down your phone when driving. I saw like an almost car accident because I was driving along in my car, beep, beep. And that's a commercial, guys. You're welcome. Anyway, I was driving in my car and I saw the person in the second lane. The reason why they were almost hit was because they were on their phone. Like, I saw them on their phone. I saw the almost accident. And they just happened to look up at the right moment. But imagine if you forgot to look up.
Right.
Because you're on your phone. That's insane. You're really that attached to your phone that you have to have it while driving is just wow to me.
Yeah, exactly. And even if there was something going on that you did need your phone, they have talk to text, so you don't even have to touch anything. You shouldn't be looking down at your phone.
And let's face it, most cars these days, they have the capability to even show you your text like on your dashboard, so it's all like touchless.
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
Not even just show it to you because you obviously don't want to be reading it. They will read it to you.
Yes. It's full service because you're not supposed to be touching your phone at all.
No.
So get off your phone, people.
In general.
Not even just when driving, just like in general.
More so though when you're driving, because not only now are you putting yourself at risk, you're putting other people at risk.
And see, that's the other thing is, Tom, like, especially if we're in like the city or crowded places, he always tells me like to get off my phone because there's also like, so say I was like walking and texting because it happened occasionally when we were in like Vegas where, you know, my mom wants to know where we are and, you know, we're walking on the strip, you know, and like I'll quick answer and then be done with it. But if you think about it, like there's a lot of chances for your phone to get snatched out of your hand, your purse to get snatched because they're taking advantage of the fact that you're not paying attention. You're not in the moment.
Yes, absolutely. That was one thing I was first taught when I was in martial arts. And obviously back when I was taking it, looking at my phone wasn't the worry, but just not looking around and being aware of your surroundings. Yep. And that's what these criminals look for. They look for you to not be paying attention.
Yes. And actually, it's probably one of like the top things that irritates Tom about me. Like, because there's sometimes where he's like, oh my God, did you see that? And I'll be like, what the hell are you talking about? Like, nope, sorry, I wasn't looking in that direction. And he's like, oh, you're never aware of your surroundings. I'm like, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then
What
there's
do you
somebody,
want?
and then I have a husband who, where were we? We were on our way to go camping, and we stopped to get something to eat, and I don't know what this guy did. I still don't know, but Kyle literally came up to me, took his knife out of his pocket, handed it to me, told me he was going to go to the bathroom and that I needed to go to the car, and if that guy followed me to get the knife out. And I was like, what the fuck is happening that he is freaking out and giving me this
You're like,
knife?
I still don't understand, but I said, okay.
Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm going right now. He's like, lock the doors. Oh, okay. But that's
your husband sounds exactly like mine.
But that's my Marine overprotective, like noticing every little detail guy.
Yep. I know, and you and I just don't have that type of training to be like.
No, I mean, I definitely pay attention because of my martial arts training. I do pay attention to my surroundings. But he notices even more. He notices even more than I do, and maybe even a little bit to the extreme. But that's just because that's what he's taught to do. So,
yeah, and I know I try and like look around, especially in places I am unfamiliar with, like because that's when you're in more danger.
Well, and I used to work at nights. You know, I used to waitress and bartend, so I didn't leave until 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning. And that's for sure when you have to pay attention because somebody could just sneak up on you when you're in the parking lot by yourself.
And thus why, if you are wondering why your phone was stolen from you multiple times, that's why you weren't really fucking paying attention.
Yep.
Actually, that's exactly what happened to a friend of mine, which is hilarious. She was at a concert and they distracted her. And they saw her have her phone out. She put it in her back pocket. And they were particularly distracting her to get her phone.
Gotta watch these people.
Yep. So not only should you be mindful of just, paying attention or just being mindful of living life and not paying attention to your phone just because you should experience life and all the opportunities that you have to go explore and hiking and whatever. I mean, that's what Rihanna does. That was just my example. I don't really do much, guys. Gonna be honest. I stay at home.
Well, and you want to experience all those moments. When you have kids, you want to watch them playing in the playground. You want to watch them learning to ride their bike. You want to watch your cousins get married and have babies. And, you have to, you want to remember all these
present.
Things.
Not present. As long with your phone. Yes, you can have it. Yes, take photos. But also remember to participate.
Yes.
And
be there.
The second reason is, safety that we just kind of covered there.
Yes.
You want to be alert. Make sure you don't get hurt. That's a little too rhymey for me.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Rietta.
I'm Connie.
And thank you for listening.